and we were surprised with the impact of the imposed tariffs. What I want to talk with Trump is the relationship between Brazil and the US. What we will not allow anymore is that our critical minerals and our rare earth would be exploited as the iron ore was exploited for so many years. I also would like to say to President Trump that we don't want a new Cold War. Actually, the agenda that I want to discuss with the North American president is broader than just critical minerals. We have diplomatic relations with the U.S. for more than 200 years. It's a very sound and solid relationship, and we were surprised with the impact of the imposed tariffs because it was done in a way that was an anomaly, because it was something you can't just imagine that you would receive such a news through the Twitter, a country to put tariffs against another country. Before that, the ministers of industry and commerce, they would make a meeting to put the tariffs, and this was through the Twitter, so we were very cautious. You know that very well. I have in my mind the idea not to make any decisions when I got fever around 39 degrees. We have to wait for the fever to go down, and then you make a decision. And I think that we made the right decisions vis-a-vis the tariff issues. And some things were lowered by the government, U.S. government themselves, and now they made another decision of the Supreme Court going against what President Trump was doing. Of course, I cannot judge the Supreme Court's rulings of another country, and even less from being from another country. But what I want to talk with Trump is the relationship between Brazil and the U.S. We're the two largest democracies of the Americas. We are two men of 80 years of age, so we cannot play around with democracy. We have to take this very seriously. On the phone call, I told President Trump, we have to shake hands, look eye to eye, person in person, and to discuss what is best for the U.S. and Brazil. And there's no veto. There's nothing forbidden in terms of issues around the negotiation table. We'll put everything on the table. If we want to fight organized crime, we're going to fight organized crime. If we should build partnerships with Brazil, if we can explore and exploit critical minerals, if the processing happens in Brazil, we can talk. What we will not allow anymore is that our critical minerals and our rare earth would be exploited as the iron ore was exploited for so many years, and we just would dig a hole and then we would just sell it abroad. No, we want to transform, process it in Brazil. So that's why we want to create a National Council of Mineral Policies subordinated to the President's office, so that we can take this more seriously in dealing with this new wealth that is being presented in this moment of transition, of energy transition that the world is so much in need. So my agenda with President Trump is a very long agenda. It's a big agenda. On my side, I'm going to discuss trade. I'm going to discuss partnerships with the universities. I'm going to discuss about the people of Brazil that live in the U.S., the immigrants, and I'll discuss any matter that he may wish to do, and even investment. That's been a long time that we haven't had investment from the U.S. in Brazil. I don't know what's his agenda, but I hope that after this meeting in Washington, we can guarantee that we started to get a very civilized relation once again that is highly respectful from each country, and that we're not going to talk anymore. And we'll always talk on the phone when there's some need for Brazil and the U.S. to talk. And I also would like to say to President Trump that we don't want a new Cold War. We do not want to have interference in any other country. We want to have equal relations with all countries. We want to treat all countries in equal conditions and receive from them the same treatment in equal quotations and egalitarian treatment.